Lord, as we bask in the awe of your creations, we take a moment to rejoice in you, seeking your presence, knowing you are everywhere. In all things, great and small. When we look for you, we only need to be still and listen. Lord, shower us in your lasting love and guide us always toward the path to salvation. You give us hope, trusting in your word, for we know you will never fail us.
It's a beautiful morning. It's a wonderful day. Walking with Jesus every step of the way. He's got a blessing waiting for you today. It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. It's a wonderful day. It's a beautiful morning. It's a wonderful day. It's such a good feeling just to know that you're saved. Don't let your troubles stand in your way, 'cause it's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. It's a wonderful day. The Lord has made this morning especially for you. He hopes that you will be joining in the work He's gonna do. He's got a blessing waiting for you today. It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. It's a wonderful day. The Lord has made this morning especially for you. He hopes that you will be joining in the work He's gonna do. He's got a blessing waiting for you today. It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. It's a wonderful day. It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. It's a wonderful day. Wonderful day.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you, and yours. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. It is a pleasure to have your presence. As usual, manners, love, and elevation to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Holy Spirit, I welcome you. I welcome you in this place. Have your way, have your way. Welcome, and thank you for being here, Holy Spirit. To those of you who are in the mystery room or who will be in the mystery room, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Brother Gary, my teacher, anywhere you are in the world, manners, love, and elevation to you, my brother. God bless you. To those of you who are in the chat, I want to say good morning. Thank you for being here. Bless Mom. RR Vlogs, my fam for life. Mariz Mantred, thank you for being here. Patrick Watson. Brother Wonder, how you doing? Prophet Paul, I know you're sleeping right now, but may God bless you. To all of the Trinity Pentecostal members and the head of the church, Pastor Taylor, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. To those of you once again in the mystery room, thank you for being here. To those of you who are here for the first time, much, much love and thanks to you. Welcome, welcome to the Servant David Show. To those of you who happen to come in and catch the replay, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Manners, love, and elevation to each and every one of you. Your time is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Bless Mom, how you doing this morning? Good morning, my sister. Good morning. Clive Moat, D. Sassy Diva, salutes to you both. Genius, my baby mama, anywhere you are, salutes to you. Latoya Daly, manners, love, and elevation to you. I big you up in your absence, girl. EK, salutes to you, Unc. Manners, love, and elevation. Tara J. Blogs, good morning. How you doing? Trev Essence, good morning to you as well. To each and every one of you, good morning. As we kick off this morning like this. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to have your presence. MTC Kitchen, thank you for being here. How you doing, my brother? Blessings to you. Janu Aya. Today is going to be a lot different. It's actually going to be an interview. I'm going to be having an interview done. Someone interviewed me. So I'm going to play back that interview for you guys. Some of you are well familiar with the person, Tara J. Blogs. Right here on YouTube, Miss Tara J. Blog will be interviewing none other than yours truly, Servant David. So it's going to be a pretty long one, approximately 2.5 to 3 hours. But a lot of information is in this interview, and I urge you guys to listen keenly. Maybe, I know some people are not as honest as me, but maybe you get a little bored from it. You can feel free to log off and come back on, or you can feel free to log off and don't come back until, another time if the interview gets a little bit boring for you. Or you can always run on over to my teacher, my good friend, my Brother Gary. That's BRO.GARY. BRO.GARY radio show on YouTube or on internet. And while you're over there, could you let them know I sent you? You won't regret it. I promise you. Once again, thank you all. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you all.
I don't know. Alright? But I'm going to drop the link for Servant David. And as you guys come, how are you doing? For you guys in Jamaica, how is it going? Are you safe? What is happening where you are? How no do? I don't see anybody answering, so I think I'm talking to myself.
What we see is every weakness, every trial, every mountain and sea. Hey, it's your girl, The Flame, and you're in tune to the Servant David Show. Keep it locked right here and don't change the dial.
The internet not working good. Oh my. I suspect. But they have to give thanks that it's working any at all, don't it? You know what is happening in Jamaica? People are worried, people are anxious for the uncertainty. Whatever else has happened before, I'm just going to ask you to just cushion the blow. Let it not be too devastating. And for those who are caught anywhere where they shouldn't have been, I'm just going to ask you just spread your wings and wrap those protective arms around them. Keep them safe, Father God. And for those who are caught somewhere there on their way home, joining mercies, I ask for them. Father God, for those who are hungry, who can't prepare themselves in the proper manner in which they should at a time like this, I'm just going to ask you to do what you do best. Preserve, Father God, and sustain them until when this is over. Jesus, I'm just going to ask you for journeying mercies for my husband out there on the road, protect and guide in all things. And for those who are in the chat of loved ones who are ill, who have issues, and who are in an uncertain place, I'm just going to ask you to take full control. In your holy and precious name, I pray. Amen. All right. Amen. Blessings to you. I see Teacher P in the building. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I am too just a little bit frustrated because StreamYard is giving me a bit of a bother this evening that I wouldn't have had, but you know what? I'm going to work with what I have and don't complain because some people out there are having much more serious issues.
Right,
You know?
right,
So
right,
guess
right.
what? We're not going to major in minor things this evening. All right, what about you?
I am blessed, you know. I am blessed.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Amen. There you are. Uh-oh. Look at my finger. I didn't see that it was cool. Yes, sorry. Nice. Nice to have you, my dear. Thank you very much for coming. You look fresh and nice, you know, like a sweet 16 this evening. What a one! What a one! What a one! I like it. I like it.
The glory of God is going on, you know.
Amen. Amen. Just like that. I see Dingy Roy Vlogs. I see Pal's Island Kitchen. Welcome, Teacher. Feel out of yourself. Yes. So,
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Shazoid. Good morning. Shazoid, please do not drop your own link. Shazoid, please do not drop your own link. Shazoid Lashari, please do not drop your own link. Shazoib Lashari, please do not drop your own link. Lashari, please do not drop your own link. If you are in the blue, please do not drop your own link. If you are not in the blue, please do not, please do not, please do not, please and thank you. Do not, please do not, please don't, please do not drop your own link. Instead, type elevation in the chat and Nightbot will drop your link for you. I repeat, do not drop your own link. I repeat, do not drop your own link. I repeat, do not drop your own link. Type elevation in the chat and Nightbot will drop your link for you. Thank you.
Yes, the grace of God. You look hot this evening. Me, I wonder how I go and you have a date, David.
Also, well, yes, right here.
Well, nothing is wrong if you dress up and come over here. Yes, sir. We like it. House of Yorks. Thank you very much for coming. No, you just you look lovely.
Thank you. I want to say blessed greetings and manners, love, and elevation to each and every one of you in the chat. I cannot see the chat right now, so I'm just going off of what names I may hear called, and
Mhm.
so blessed greetings to all of you.
All right.
Yeah.
So yes. Gentle people in the chat, I know you see the title and you know what you're here for. We have the lovely David on screen here. He goes by Servant David. I'm sure you see him in these YouTube streets, but you really don't know who he is. So we are going to get to know him a little bit tonight, as well as we are going to learn some very important information from him. And you know what? Before we jump into it, I am just going to say thank you very much, David, for coming. And I appreciate the fact that you were kind enough to be willing to come here and share. You understand?
Yes.
Because it matters not what we think we know. We can always learn something else and learn from even those who have experience. Them say experience teaches wisdom, no? And not no
True.
wrong if you let go somebody wisdom over here so we can brush some of his shoulder. You
True.
understand? So that much we are looking forward to. So who is David? Where David hail from? Which country, which town, which planet?
Well, I always say, technically, I'm not of this world. I'm a little bit different than others, but I'm not of this world. But where was I born? A lot of people might not know, but I was actually born in the USA. I was born in the USA in Hartford, Connecticut. Um, I was born sick, and after I came out of the hospital and started to, sort of kind of get better, I was sent to Jamaica. So I grew up in Jamaica for maybe 5 years because I left
Mhm.
when I was like 10 and I went there when I was like 4, going on 5, something like that. So yeah, I was born here in the US and grew up in Jamaica, but came here. So I guess you can say I'm Jamaican or something like that. Um, I've, as you see the topic, it says born with a rare disease called Hirschsprung's disease. Hirschsprung disease it's an intestinal disease.
Hold on, let me make sure that these people can hear you. Indicate for me, please, if you can hear David clearly, because he's going to share some very important information with us, and I want to make sure that you guys can hear. So, one out of the many people that are here, indicate to me to make sure that I know you can hear David properly. Can you hear David clearly? All right, Inga says she's hearing. Ooh.
Okay.
All right. So you say that you were born with a rare disease.
Called Hirschsprung's dise's.
It's the first I'm hearing about that one. I've never heard about it until you said it. So it's
Okay.
new to me.
I did on I did a video about it, and it's in my thing. But you guys can go look it up and everything. It's called HERSHSPRUNG, Hirschsprung's disease. It's called Hirschsprung's disease, and it's an intestinal disease where it causes like blockage in your intestines. And
Mhm.
they say, I believe it's like 1 out of 2 million kids are born with that. Well,
Wow.
guess what? I'm one of the ones. I'm one of the ones.
Wow.
So it's it there
And
are
they had
rare cases. There are rare cases of it where it hasn't gotten better. You know, and but most cases people do recover from it with the proper surgery and stuff like that. Under the age of a year old, I had 5 different open stomach surgeries. You know,
Whoa.
so I spent,
That's a bit much.
yeah, I still have it. Well, I don't mean to gross nobody out.
Mm.
I still have the scars to this day.
Wow.
You know, but yeah, so I was born with that, and it's like I said, it's an intestinal disease where it causes blockage in the intestines. Some cases it's real bad. My case was real bad. It's like at first the child will be born and everything seems to be normal, but
Mhm.
then after a while you notice that the child is not going to the bathroom. Number two. But it's not that the child is not going to the bathroom. The child is. The child is just going to the bathroom inside of himself. So it's like it going in his body. So I was hooked up to a bunch of tubes and all of that, for a good period of my childhood. You know, like I said, after I started to get a little bit better, around maybe the age of 4ish, 5ish, I went to Jamaica and stayed there for a little while, and it was kind of bad because I couldn't like go to school. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Because with that disease, it's like your nerves in your bowels are dead. So
You're not able to control. So you weren't able to control
right.
those
So I can be
movements.
just standing up or sitting down. I'm gonna go to the bathroom
Mhm.
right there, right there. You know, and of course, people, not everybody would understand, especially other kids. So
Definitely.
even when I came back to the US, it was hard to get into school, although I did get into school. It
Mhm.
caused a lot of fights, expulsion. Like I got kicked out of kindergarten for fighting.
I'm sorry. You got kicked. Oh
No,
my God.
I'm not telling a lie. I'm not telling.
That's a record, kindergarten, at least primary, man. You understand me? But yes, most children make it to primary school before they get kicked out. You
No,
understand me? You have a record in a kindergarten, David.
yeah,
But
seriously.
it is understandable. And you see, when you don't know, you just don't know, because you are speaking about that. And I recall when I was teaching at a particular school, there was a boy in grade 2, and he had a problem, and his was coming through his mouth,
Yes, I
backed
know
up.
someone like
Yes,
that. Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
But when you spoke, I know what the name was. I did not know the name that was associated with that sort of situation until when you said the word, and I searched a little bit, but then he brought me back to that point. And I recall that the child had to have open stomach surgery as well, and he had come back to school too, and he was a little bit okay, and then he had to go back because the problem had reoccurred, and so on. So now that you're saying, no, I can put that together as to what it is called, because I did not know. So you see, thank you for the knowledge. You understand? But go right ahead.
Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, so I would get into fights and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, hold on. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, no problem. I'll talk to the chat. So I see Thunder Scorpion in the building. I see Donna Ray Love. Thank you very much for coming, my darling. I see Trev Essence. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, the lovely Inga S. Thank you very much for being here. And peer greetings and love. You guys throwing each other in the chat. Um, mixed blogs. Nay, Vern's mixed blogs. Thank you very much for coming. Let me see if I missed anybody. Dory Love, Bingy Roy Vlogs, Paul's Island Kitchen, Teacher P, of course, House of Yorks, Bingy. Did I call you? But if I call you again, not run of love flavors. I don't know if I miss any. Look here, if I miss anybody, you know, forgive me. You know, sister, me have help yourself. I see Britannia Johnson. Thank you, my darling, for coming. All right, David, continue, my dear. You say you get in a lot of fights because.
All right, hold on. No, hold on. Why no?
All right. So, gentle people, until David comes back, we can go and talk now. Yes. So I recall a student at a school that I taught some time ago, but I did not know the name. And he was small in stature too. You know, just as we Jamaican the same fine. You know, and that was the situation. Is number two that should come out backed up and it was coming through his mouth and so on. You know, and I recall they had to pull him from school and all of that, but I did not know the name until David mentioned what the name of the illness was. You understand? And so that brings me, because he said, yes, he said that at the age of 5, he had already gone through some surgeries, more than one. So think about it. 5-year-old is a little baby that is, you know, still learning to do things to, you know, put his sentences together and all of that. And you already go under the knife so many times. And when you look at some of our lives, we have things way easier than that, and we complain so much. So we all give thanks. David is back. Yummy cooking with joy. Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate you. All right. yeah. So welcome back, David. Continue. You said that you get in fights in kindergarten because of the situation. You can hear me? You can hear David? David? You're muted? You can hear me? Because I'm speaking. Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
Not here.
I don't know why you're not hearing.
I'm not here.
Go out and come back in.
I should have it from you. You can't hear.
But I'm speaking. Can you guys in the chat hear me?
I believe I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yummy Cooking is saying, hi everyone in the chat. Welcome, Yummy Cooking. How are you, my dear? How you doing? Can you hear me now, David?
Yes, no, I can hear you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Because I was wondering.
I'm so sorry, guys. I was getting a phone call and they just kept calling and calling and.
Yeah, it tends to mess up the connection after, but no worries. Yes.
Okay.
So you were at the point where you said that you get into fights at kindergarten. You were kicked out at kindergarten. So we were at the record that you have. Oh my God.
But yeah, so I was getting a lot of fights in schools. Kicked out, like I said, kicked out of kindergarten in public schools. So since the public schools wouldn't take me, I ended up going to private school where I was taught by like nuns. Nuns where you say instead of calling them teacher, you'll call them sister this and sister that. So I went to that, and then basically through the younger grades up until junior high, and then when it was time to go to high school, that's when I started going back to public schools. Throughout those years, I would have issues. There were times when I did go to the bathroom on myself in school, or on the bus, or any little thing like that. And then also in high school, actually it that was the last time it happened in school, was in high school. I think I was like in the 11th grade, and one day it just come. It was there, the biggest embarrassment ever, because I was the type that like to not really bossy, but dress as
So you went Cheshire boy. Yeah, Cheshire boy. All right.
yeah. So me have on white silk pants and a green, like a thin green shirt. But to me have on the white pants, I'm gonna go crap up myself and show through the thing. So it was a big thing, and ray, and so get past that, grow up in life, and back in the days, I I was a player. I was a gallus per se.
Hold your break. David. Hold your break. Hold your break. Before we jump into the galley section there, who can call Beanie Man for me? You understand me? Before we jump into that section, there's one thing I want to ask you, because you spoke about going to private school, up until when you're ready for high school. So I know that private school can have, some sort of different setting from the public setting. So when you were ready to be integrated back into the public setting, did you find it difficult? Was it easy? What was it like? Because you seem to have vivid memories of
No,
events.
it was very, very easy, because
Okay.
I've always, despite my what I was born with, I've always been kind of popular. I always played
Oh,
sports. I was always into the music, and whether I'm into music at school or into music in the world, I was doing like you just mentioned, Beanie Man, like DJing. I was doing worldly music, DJing worldly music. Didn't know nothing about, wasn't thinking nothing about no singing or none of that until later on in my adult years. But I used to DJ, and so
and the girls them like it.
yeah, and then because I would bump shoulders with known artists. I guess that may have drawn a aura around me. So it was like a magnet with people, especially women. They would just.
Let us backtrack a little bit because you moved from primary school, or over years not primary school. You have elementary school and you have middle school. So you move from that and you go to high school. You said the transition was pretty easy because of the type of person you were.
Right. And most of the people that were going to the high school were people that live like in the neighborhood or the surrounding neighborhood.
Oh, so there would have been people who knew you and you would have known them.
Right.
All right. Oh, good. So they were familiar faces. Welcome, the
Right.
grand family.
Right. Right.
Chalewa, welcome. Okay. So we have that. That's good. So that bit was easy for you. Now, as it relates to the Hirschsprung, and you said that experience, kind of put a damper on your little swag what you have. You understand when that happened? How did you do any surgery after that regarding that?
No.
All right. So no more surgery.
No more surgery.
How did you take control? Because I know it is something that you would have to learn, because it seems as if then you're not in control of the muscle movement, all of that's supposed to control all of that movement where you can go in a timely manner. How did you manage to really bring yourself from that part of maybe seeming to be, in a state where you are uncertain as to when it might occur, whatever? And to my knowledge, the food intake, your diet plays an important part in all of that to help to monitor and help you to control. So how did you manage that part of it?
You hearing me?
Yes.
I don't know why I'm off screen. Are you seeing me?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, I just kind of learned not to really. A lot of it had to do with my mother. With her, because with all the fights and all the stuff that I would go through, she would talk to me and tell me, don't worry about it, don't worry about what people say, this and that and da 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 da. And at first, yes, it kind of didn't make sense to me, or I didn't really understand what she was saying, or couldn't get myself to do what she was saying, but after a while I just kind of learned to not listen to what people say to me. But also, like you said, what did I do to control it? As you mentioned, it has a lot to do with the food intake. So with me having that, I'm basically lactose intolerant.
Okay.
I can't eat. I would have to watch a lot of the. Just hold on.
Okay.
My God.
All right. Let me see and will step in the building. I see Doreen Humber TV. Let me see if I missed it. Again, Shalewa, welcome, my dear. Welcome. House of yours. Thunder Scorpion in the building. Doreen Humber TV, Teacher P, the grand family. Thank you very much. And I see O'Neill World.
Okay,
O'Neill's World, thank you for coming. I see Cooking with Miss Brown, Donna Ray Love. Thank you very much, guys, for coming. Thanks for the support. Yes, David.
Yeah, again, I apologize. So unprofessional.
Yeah, that's all right. We know how things are. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So with that, I'm lactose intolerant. you know, and not only lactose intolerant, but I have to watch certain greens that I eat. So I can't eat a lot of salads and stuff like that. A lot of green stuff.
So basically, nothing that will aid in bowel movement. You don't.
Right.
You do.
Also, liquor. If I mean, I can drink liquor. I can have a Guinness. I can have Hennessy. I can have um anything I want. You know, but not too much of it. I'm not a drinker anyways. I've always been a smoker. I would drink sometime. One day I got really, really drunk, mash up, and I made a promise to God and the toilet that I will never do it again, and I never drink again ever since. So, but heavy drinking would cause me to have bowel movements like crazy, especially once I go to sleep. Like I can be up as an adult, but if I drink and I get nice and say me I go relax with one girl and go sleep, oh no, because I might just, you know. So I just basically watch what I eat, and I haven't had an issue with it since high school, since high school, because of watching what. Well, no, I mean, back in my 20s, I had a little mishap. It was in my sleep, but ever since then, I haven't. But the last embarrassing moment was high school.
Okay, but that's good. That's good. And so it's all about self control, and it's all about learning. You know, what and how things affect you, because you said you found out that okay, you're lactose intolerant because of the issues that you're having. Sorry, I feel a little bit chilly, so I'm just dragging on myself. um and you make sure that you steer clear from that. I know some people would find out that, you know what, I am like that, but I still, you know, I like milk, so I still go drinking. I like me, I'll drink two supplement, you know. You understand me? I want
You see, the supplement, no.
You have to, as the old people would say, you have to see it and wish it well.
Yep.
All right. But so that brings about another point, David. That's simple being that you are someone that is also disciplined, and that is a part of what it takes to really, you know, go through certain things and maintain yourself at a certain place when you have overcome or when you have come through or gone through. Just to maintain so you don't revert to where you're coming from and what you were doing. So it takes some form of discipline that is admirable, because you know sometimes you see supplement and they look good and you want bust 3 Guineas and you know one with that thing and all of vibes. You understand me? And if you're in a setting and you see everybody gallivanting and maybe you know in a celebratory mood and you would want to grab a bottle of NSC too and say, you know, say me I hug up that one for tonight. But you know, it takes much discipline to really control yourself. And even though you know that you know you could do a little bit and not go over the edge, but you steer clear from that. So for that I must commend you, because I know many people would, you know, relapse where that part is concerned, because it's kind of hard to, you know, take control and not to be in the crowd and do what the crowd is doing. So, you know, for that we are going to say kudos to you on that part and continue to do so. And for those of us who are paying attention, you better learn. You better learn that sometimes you really have to get to that point where you say no and make your no mean no. You understand me? Mean what you say what you mean, and understand when it can come off no good. So you just left it right there. So you understand me? That doctor not broke you. You understand? Because the doctor not telling you not to come, you know. Oh.
No, the doctor not telling me not to come.
No. Sandra Morgan, Thank you for coming, Kai Creative Learning. Thank you, darling, for coming. Yes, so that part, David, is quite admirable because I can imagine that, it is something that you have to constantly uh, think about, and even eating out would have been a problem because then you'd have to make sure that when if you're going to go to a restaurant to buy something, you have to know the ingredients, what you're consuming. So I can understand that sometimes it must be a little bit frustrating for you, but what is it that allows you to stay on course and say, you know what, this is just not good for me, I'm just not doing it? What is it that really, stand out in your mind to say, you know what, the milk there, I'm not touching it, and I'm not going to go to the restaurants to order anything because I don't know all the ingredients. And
the only thing I can identify and say it is willpower.
Amen. That's what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. Because even Dugu, I've gone without it by choice.
All right, we're coming up to that. We're coming up. I'm coming up.
So it's strong mind, strong will,
self-discipline
that makes you. And no, you don't have to be a child of God. You don't have to be a Christian, Baptist, Muslim, Rasta, atheist to have willpower, to have a strong mind. And just because I might be stronger in not doing something that you are not as strong in, that does not mean that you are not strong as well. There are some things that many of you are stronger in than I am. For instance, because I suck at saving money. It's like hand to mouth. I saw the check them come.
You see, it's a whole bag of lessons right here, David, because I'm happy you make mention that, even though that is your strong point, where you can really fight yourself into saying that I'm going to stay put. This is not good for me. I am not going to venture, even though over there look good. I am not going to venture over there. But you see, even the strongest of men have their weak moments. You understand me? I will go back and the Bible tell you about Solomon, don't you? Oh, yeah. You understand? Yes. So, and then you have some people who might be weak in this area, but they are strong in other areas, as you so pointed out. So, all of us have our strengths and our weaknesses. You understand me? And when you find what it is, then maybe it can help you to steer you into certain direction that you need to go, as well as it can be your saving grace as to allow you not to venture in certain pathway and certain direction that you have no business going in. So that part I understand. So so just saying that for somebody who has gone through all of that, you have shown much resilience and strength. So for that, I'm just going to say God is good, and continue to do what you're doing. And thank you for the gems that you're dropping on us tonight, so we can learn and we can really and truly employ some of it and see if we can improve on different areas of our life that we know we need to touch up, fix up. You understand me? Where the carpenter can't help you with. You understand? Yeah. So here you are, somebody. And this also shows us that, because sometimes, but like how I knock my finger up and every minute, me a people like it broke and nothing wrong with, the cut, but you understand me? And then we lament and we pay attention to sometimes some little things. And you have people who have big issue and you see them move steadfast like you and keep going and you're wrong, because if you did not open your mouth and to share with us or to speak previously, nobody could look at you and know that you have any sort of issue. And there's a saying when they say that thank God you don't look like what you have been through. I think that that saying was written just for you. You understand me? Because nobody would look at you. And even when you interact with people, you come, you share, and you what I like about you is that you don't start a pity party and you don't harbor a pity party.
I was just about to say that and I wanted to start this off by saying that no, it's not about a pity party. And when you guys hear, you've only heard the beginning so far, but when you hear the rest of it, don't give me no, it's not about pity. And I'm not saying, you know, don't might sound contradictory. I'm not saying don't say sorry, or I don't appreciate the, oh, I'm sorry servant, and this and that. It's not that I don't appreciate, you know, the thoughts and the gestures, but don't say sorry as in a pity
A pity in a
party.
pitiful way. Sorry
Right.
that you have encountered all of that, you have experienced all of that, but I'm happy you are here and you are still standing and going firm. You understand me? So you don't want a pity party. In
Right,
in other words.
because I'm not sorry for any, from the Hirschsprung's disease to the divorces to the diagnosis. I have no regrets about it. You know,
Hmm.
and I'm not sorry about them, because every single thing that has happened in my life is what makes me who I am. If there was anything, one thing in my life that ever was to be changed, I would not be me. It would change the whole the whole thing, and not just me, but with you and you and you.
Yes,
If
yes.
one thing changes in your life that did not ever happen, that affects a lot more than what we know. It's not just us that it affects. Because whatever you did that day, you must have come in some counteraction with someone else during that day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so it would screw up everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So don't feel sorry for me, you know, because I'm thankful that this happened. I actually take everything that happened to me as an opportunity, per se. You know, opportunity to prove that God still exists, and to prove that He is still who He is, and that, you know, no matter what I'm going through, or John is going through, or Teacher P is going through, or Tara is going through, no matter what any of us is going through, there is somebody somewhere
Say it.
who is
Say it.
worse off. You see,
Amen.
I'm telling this story here, and it was on your show. You had those ladies a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
To me, their story is worse than my story. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So again, I'm thankful for what has happened to me. You know, and yeah, that's about it. But we can get back into the story. I will kind
Yes.
of
So basically you're saying that you're not sorry because all of your experience helps to shape who you are.
right,
Simple. Simple.
right,
So
right.
no pity party, guys. We will acknowledge that this is it, these experiences they are not pleasant, but he's still here. You understand me? So guess what? We're forging ahead. So we spoke about the Hirschsprung. We spoke about you doing the surgeries. I don't remember how many you said before the age of 5. You
But no, before the age of 1, I had 5 open stomach surgeries.
I thought you said for the age of 5.
No, under the age of 1, I had 5 open stomach surgeries.
Wow.
Right. Under the age of 1 years old, I had 5 different open stomach surgeries. My last surgery, I think I was like 4, about 4, when I came out of the hospital. Yeah. Stayed there for a few months, came out, came home, and then went to Jamaica, and then ended up coming back But when I was about 9, 10, something like that.
God is good.
Yeah.
God is good. So you come forward as those men in Jamaica would say, and you get to the point where high school, and from high school, where did you go?
From high school, I went to a few. Right after high school, I didn't do much because, again, I was in the world, in the music and into the smoking and the girls and the partying so school wasn't.
When you said music, you were pursuing it as a career, something that you could do. Are
I
you?
was trying to. I've never been signed. I've done a few dub plates. I opened a few shows for people. Caperton, Bojo, Shaba. I've done opening acts
Nice.
for a few artists. Um, but I've never been signed. I've made a few CDs, of myself, and I've made
Mhm.
a record of myself, but just never signed. You know,
Oh.
so in at first, back then, yeah, I was trying my hardest to make it in as a professional, but I guess I that wasn't my calling. I guess I didn't make it, so I basically would just do it for fun, and just make my own little CDs and cassette tapes and all those things. Play play on sounds.
Mhm.
I even became a selector at one time. I did that
Wow.
only for like maybe 2 years, but I did it, and it wasn't my thing. I was always wanting to vocally. I didn't want to be an MC, but I
Mhm.
wanted to be on the mic. So I would always be doing that in the world, and like I said, with the partying and all of that, that brings, and then my sweet mouth, cause they used to call me
Mm-mm.
lover boy and this and
Real
that.
Casanova.
Boy, I was bad. I'm not proud of it. I am not proud of it, but I was really, really, really bad. I am Georgie Porgy. I am Georgie Porgy.
Yes, David.
Georgie Porgy, pudding pie, kiss the girls and make them cry.
Mm-mm.
Those type of things. Have a whole heap of different women at one time. Even when I have my main girlfriend, um, I was bad and I was good. Because there was a time where I was dating this girl, boyfriend, girlfriend, and I don't know how I convinced she, and I don't advise this, and I'm not proud of it, okay, guys, but it's just something that I did do. I don't know how I convinced her to let me do her sister. So me do she and me do her sister. Two of them same bed right there. Bam, boom, boom. I don't know how I convinced her. I'm just talking the truth. I'm just being truthful. So I was bad, but I was good with my mouth at the same time, and you know like I said,
Somebody said that you were good at being bad. In that say you were good at being bad. As they say in a Jamaica, when you're good bad. You understand me? So, are you know, David? But you see, we can always laugh. I'm certain all of us have done something that we are not proud of. It might not be in the same vein, but tell me who has never done anything that's a lie, but we shouldn't do that. You
Mhm.
understand me? So guess what? All of us have a past.
Mhm.
You understand the person that is going to say no way is the pretender, and that person needs to go to Bellevue or somewhere because they're head partner, right? You understand me? So yes. So all of us have our arms. So don't even beat yourself up about it. Of course, we make decisions. We have done things. You know, if I even open my mouth and say some things and you get some problem and we say, "Yeah, Lord Jesus," but you know, so we shouldn't do that. So that part is a given to all of us. You understand? So go coming forward, children, marriage. How does that go?
Okay, coming forward, during my fool around time, I did get one daughter, right? But then, I'm still fooling around and everything, and I met this one girl, lady, and I actually met her through a blind date. A friend of mine hooked me up with her, and it was a blind date. And when he hooked me up, hooked me up, there was two of them. It was one for him, one for me. One of them, she was all right, but the other one was like drop dead gorgeous, like pretty Puerto Rican, nice.
David said, nice, nice, nice.
Yo,
Yes, David.
the picture of them pin up on the wall, but I would have grabbed one. She nice, she sexy, nice. Anyhow, I saw her, but I didn't know that she was for me. Automatically, I'm thinking the other one is for me, but it was her that was for me. So
Okay.
when I realized that, I went Google Gaga over her. Though that was back in the days. I don't know if Jamaica had them, but that was back when we had beepers here. I don't know if you guys know what beepers are, but we had beepers before we had cell phones. And
yes. Catch a pound of pants pocket in a big pants pocket and well bossy.
Yes. So I gave her my beeper number, and she didn't call. She didn't give me her number. She just didn't give me her number, but she said she would call. So weeks and weeks would pass, and I would just waiting for her to call, and I'm thinking, okay, finally, she not gonna call because she don't want me. It's been a couple weeks well, and one day, beep beep beep, my thing go off. Me don't know who me answer. Me go sick again. Well, it's you. Oh my God, da. We link up. We start talking. We were talking for about maybe 4 or 5 years, and then we ended up getting married. We're married for a while. Altogether, in total, we were together for about 15 years, 14 to 15 years. And but that relationship just it didn't work out because we had different views on raising children. She had 3 children of her own when we met. She couldn't have any more after. I knew that. I just accepted her kids then and now as they were mine.
So you still maintain a relationship with those kids?
Absolutely, and they are adults right now, grown adults. Wonderful. With their own kids, and their kids acknowledge me as grandpa.
Wonderful.
And she's in a whole different state. She's in Oklahoma, where I left her, and I'm here in Connecticut. So that didn't work out. We ended up getting divorced, and like I said, I was Google Gaga over her. So when I lost her, I was crushed, and at first I was upset. I was hurt. I was my head gone, But then after a while, I start to realize or take it as like maybe she was the payback to me for all the girls that I hurt in the past.
Oh.
So I gladly accepted that. I said, you know what, that could be it. She didn't tell me that. Nobody else didn't tell me that. I just accept that as my
As they say, your past will catch up with you.
Right. And karma, what go around, come around,
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, that one they come around with a karate chop, a karate kick, pick me back up and chop me down again.
Kick you down flat. You kick you down flat, David.
And then pick me up and kick me down again. Yeah, I'll stamp on me a little bit too. Yeah, left some footprint in my forehead. But so
sorry about that.
So I was really torn up about that, and so I was saying I don't want no more relationships. I just want to serve God. I don't want to hurt nobody no more. I don't want nobody to hurt me no more. I just want to serve God wholeheartedly. It was like that for a few years after the divorce, and I started getting into church, started to lead the men's choir. I started to do Sunday school teaching, like I would teach the little kids at Sunday school. I did the valet parking in the church parking lot. Little bit of security, but mostly like people would come and I would park their cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was this lady who I didn't really notice.
Turn the camera off.
I didn't really notice her, but she obviously noticed me. And it like I would see her, she would say hi all the time. Then the highs go from just saying hi to you bring me a bottle of water. You bring me some napkin for wipe my sweat, because remember I'm out in the parking lot a lot. I'm doing praise and worship, so I'm gonna need some water. You see me going up there, you pass me a bottle of water. Little things like that.
Like you care.
Like they care. At the time, she had a little girl, and at the time I didn't know that the little girl was her little girl. And I was coming in from being outside, and I saw a little girl in the hallway, and I don't remember if she was crying or if she was sick or what. And when I say little girl, I mean the little girl had to be about 2 or 3, something like that.
Okay.
And she was crying, so I'm a magnet to children, and children are a magnet to me. So anybody could have kids and they like adapt to me. I don't know why, but it's just like that. Kids just adapt to me.
Yeah.
So she had like a bunch of boogle coming from her nose. And I bent down. I didn't have any tissue. I just grabbed my shirt. I wipe the little girl nose like it's my daughter. I don't know the girl, I don't know the mother, I don't know the father, I don't know nothing. I just see the little girl with snot coming down, and I wipe up her nose. Blah, blah. By the time I come up off of my knee, oh my God, thank you so much. It's her thanking me. So I just took the thank you, like it was nothing. I have to give you my number because I always see her. I really want to talk to you about something, and blah, 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 blah. Even then, I'm not thinking, yeah, man, I'll get that, because that's the last thing on my mind. I'm just focusing on God, church, So I give her my number. She gave me hers. I forgot I even had her number. It wasn't until that was the Sunday, so let's say it wasn't until maybe the Wednesday or the Thursday when she called me. And hey, how you doing? And blah blah blah. We get to talking, and we're talking for a few weeks, going to church, seeing each other more. One day I said, okay, I'm gonna go check her. And I went to go see her. She lives not really in the neighborhood, but really, really close, So I went to go see her. I don't know if a lot of you know or not, but I have dogs. you know. And when I saw her yard, the first thing I thought was like, wow, this be a nice place to put some dogs, you know. Furthermore, I had came out. Remember, I was divorced from my first marriage. So with that divorce, it kind of forced me to go back to my parents' home as a grown man, you know. So now I'm in my parents' home, and not only in the parents' home, but I had a brother, have, I don't know what you would consider someone deceased if they would still be, but I'm gonna say I have a deceased brother. At the time, he was not deceased, but he was, you know, heavy on drugs and stuff like that, and his behavior and his activities would also what's the word I'm looking for, also involve me per se. So like when he need a ride to go somewhere, he's always bothering me for a ride. When he want to have his drug fix because he can't get none, it's me gotta listen to it or see you talking to mom certain way or doing certain thing, and I'm getting frustrated. So I just wanted to get out of the house, you know, to get away. So now when I start talking to this lady, oh, you have a nice house, okay, okay. No, you invite me inside. Oh wow, you have a guest room. So we talk. She know that, you know, a lot of times while we're on the phone, she can hear a lot of the stuff that's going on with my brother in the background, and you know all those things. So I asked, you know, if it would be possible for me to rent out the guest room that she had. She agreed. We went over. I went over there, tried it out for one night, fine. Tried it out for another night, fine. So eventually I said, okay, I'm gonna stay. And I start giving her money towards the you know, towards whatever. And not only doing that, but like go outside, cut the grass, do little things like that. Now mind you, I'm in church while I'm doing this. She only lives up the street from the church, walking distance from the church, right? So when cars that are going to the church or from the church drive past, they see her. They see me. She's not a driver, I'm the driver. And so I always had the car. So if I'm living in the house and we're both going to the same church, why am I going to drive down the street or walk down the street without you if we in the same house, you know? So she would drive with me or walk with me, her, the kids, everything, and go to church. After a while, the pastor come to me and, oh, brother David, it don't make sense you're doing all of this good stuff in church, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and then yet you're living with a woman and you're not married. I will tell this man, say me and her there. Me and her no kiss. Me and her no really talk about nothing like that. You know, we just was in the same house. So after a while now, not growing up, but being in the same house, whether you went there with intentions or not, after a while, this thing called temptation comes, you know, and you start to look at each other a certain way when you're passing in the house, you know, you give that little, you know, that little look and things, and so we start flirting with each other. It was said to me by the huh?
No, go right ahead, dear. Hmm.
It was said to me by the pastor again that it doesn't make sense that I'm doing all of this and living in the house with someone. You should consider getting married or move out, move out the house.
Hmm.
So I said, okay, I'm thinking about it. And I went back and I talked to her about it. She said, okay, why not? We ended up getting married.
Just like that.
Just like that. Just like that. Just like that.
So up
So,
until this point, you and her did not get intimate.
no, 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 no,
Wow.
no, no, not at all, not at all. As much as I wanted to. And a lot of that played part because, like I said, she had the little girl. And
Yes.
so I was trying to set an example for the little girl. She had a little girl and the little girl has two brothers. All in total, she has 5 kids though. So there's 2 adults and then three younger kids. One of them, he's about 19 now. Yeah, he's about
Mhm.
19 right now. The other one is 14, and then the other one is 12.
Okay.
And the little girl is about 12 now.
Mhm.
So, but at the time, like I said, she was like 2, 3 years old. You know what I mean? So I wanted to set the example for the little girl and for the boys, you know, of what it should be like. You know, it don't look. It's not gonna look right. I'm not married to your mom, but yeah, I'm laid up in her bed and all those type of things. You know, it just don't look right. So I was trying to set an example for them, but especially the little girl. Um, so we say all right, and we decide all right, we're gonna get
No, go
married.
and go ahead with it.
Right, right. We start dating a little bit more. Start dating. It was probably maybe about 6 or 7 months later
Yes.
when I went and told the pastor that we decided that yeah we had to think about it, this and that and blah blah blah. You know, she is she is kind of like a antisocial type of person.
Hmm.
You know, she's not into the party and the crowd and the too much of that. Or she's not really into having her business out there like that.
Yes.
You know. So she was kind of against what do you call it before you get counseling. She was against the counseling, but
Yes.
our pastor requires that if they're gonna marry you, you have to get counseling. You know, so we was trying. I was trying. The assistant pastor was trying. The pastor was trying. My mother was trying to get her to go to counseling. Marriage counseling, but she didn't want to go to marriage counseling. So we had to trick her. And the way we trick her is the Sunday morning, pastor said, I need to talk to you for a second. She thought it was just a simple thing. I knew he was going to call her in the office, and we did the one session right there in the office. It should have been about 4 or 5, maybe more sessions, but it was one session that we did of so and so marriage counseling. Number one red flag, but I didn't look at it as a flag back then. We get married and we're going on, and the first year was pretty good. It was nice as usual. The first year for anybody is usually pretty good. The second year it was all right. By the third year, completely rocky. I would say even by the second year or the ending of the second year is when I actually started to notice certain signs like you never had a code on your phone before, but you're starting to put codes on your phone. You never turn your phone upside down, but you turn your phone upside down. You're on the phone in a room by yourself. I come in, you either leave the room or you come off of the phone quick. Little signs like that. I've always been the type that do not accuse me of nothing, especially if I did not do it. Do not accuse me because I get bringer. Especially if me not do it, me get bringer. So don't accuse me of doing things, especially when I did not do it. And because I don't like that, I don't do it to other people. I'm not gonna accuse someone of doing something unless I have proof. Unless I have proof, I'm not gonna say, yeah, I know you did or whatever, whatever. Unless I have proof, I'm not gonna accuse someone of anything, you know. So instead of accusing, I would ask, are you cheating? I used to be a gallus. So any game where you are playing, I know. And I was seeing them, but I'm saying, no, she in a church. No, she couldn't. No, not me. This couldn't happen to me. No, 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 no. I was just playing, not even playing. I just wasn't seeing it as she doing nothing wrong. Maybe it's my imagination is what I was seeing it as. Even though I know that the signs were just tapping me on my shoulder. You know, so I would ask her, is she cheating? Is she cheating? Is she cheating? She would never give me a direct answer. What if I am? Leave me alone with that. What kind of foolish question that? What do you think? Little questions, little remarks like that or answers like that is what she would give. So I got sick of it, of thinking that she is, me asking, she saying it's not, but I have this strong gut in my feeling, see you. I have a car. I've always been the driver. Why you have to go to work, but you have somebody else coming to pick you up? Times you wouldn't even be going to work, Saturday mornings. How come this car is coming to pick you up and just pull off? And they don't even pull up exactly in at first. Don't really pull up exactly in front of the house. Pull down a little bit further. You walk outside, you walk to the car, boom, you're gone. When I was in Oklahoma, I was a sheriff. So I know a lot of people and I know a lot of ways to get a lot of information that you want to get about basically anybody in the world that you want to get information about. And I also know about tapping phones. So I don't advise this to anybody. Please don't do it. Because sometimes it's better you not know certain things. It's better you not know what's in that box or what's going on behind that door. It's better you don't hear. It's better you don't see. I tapped her phone and it confirmed what I was thinking, feeling, that yes, she was cheating. I've heard her having sex. Um, I've heard them. It sounded like they were at the movies or somewhere like that, because you can hear the movies going and stuff like that. So it sounded like she was at the movies one time, but like I said, it doesn't. Some things we need to just leave it. So don't go tapping people's phone and just leave it. Just leave it be. Again, some things are better left unknown or unheard or unseen. Um, but it confirmed what I was saying or what I was thinking. So I asked her again, is she cheating? I never let her know up to this day. I never let her know that I knew, that she was cheating or anything like that. Instead, I was trying to make the relationship work. I was trying everything I could to make it work. I was trying to do this, trying to do that. Um, there came a time where I was kind of financially unstable because I wasn't working. And it was at a bad time, in the winter time, you know. And for any of you who might have a house or anything like that and know what a furnace is nothing cheap to get fixed, much less to buy a brand new furnace and get it installed in the house. I didn't have the money for the furnace. She didn't have the money for the furnace. But guess what? We get that new furnace installed and everything. Hold on. Anyways, we're going on, and I'm trying to. It was a few times she would say, "Get out," and this and that, and I'm sitting there trying to be this good husband that I'm trying to be, you know, because I began to believe and learn and believe that, you know, where they say Jesus said love, that we are the church, you know, and he says that the men must love their wives like how Jesus loved the church. And I took that serious, you know. So I'm looking at it like, if I'm the church and I've heard Jesus over and over and over again, but yet he still welcomed me with open arms, and yet he still tried to work with me, who am I not to try to work with her for whatever, you know, cheating she's doing, or whatever. So again, I would try work at it, work at it, work at it, work at it, work at it. Um, Again, like I said, I was big into the church, or heavy into the church, and people would see me and they would say things like comments like, "Why, servant, you look like you're losing weight. Um, you're looking good, this and that." And well, I never saw the weight loss. I never really paid any mind to the weight loss or anything like that. And people, like I said, people would just tell me stuff like that. And it wasn't until after a while now where I would start to like even sleeping. It was hard to sleep because I feel like it's painful, because it would, if I'm laying on my back, it feel like I'm laying on my bones. I lay on my side, it feel like I'm on my bones. It feel like if I'm on my stomach, any way I turn, toss, turn, it was just painful, you know. Um, on top of that, I would be woken up a lot of nights, look like I just, or feel like I just jumped into the swimming pool or a shower, drenched in sweat. My face, my body, my underwear, my pajama, whatever I have on the bed sheet, soaked, like somebody just dumped water right from me. Pure cold sweat, many nights. You know, I still pay no mind to it, pay no mind to it, pay no mind to it. One day, her son, one of her sons, was really rude with me. Um, he basically cussed me. It was over a little cell phone. I was telling him that he's being irresponsible. He's not listening. He needs to do what I tell him. If he don't start listening, I'm gonna end up getting his baby sister a cell phone so that she can show him what responsibility is. I was wrong for that. You must never compare your kids with each other or with other kids. That's wrong, and it can be traumatic to them, you know. I was wrong for saying that. But he got mad and he cussed me. I don't give a F. Get her the effing phone and da 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 da. So I got mad, and at the time he was only 9 years old. And I'm figuring, okay, I've been taking care of you this time. I'm an adult. I'm your father figure. I do more for you than your father, and you're talking to me like that. So I did want a shot in my box, but because he was sitting behind me, I couldn't swing enough. Thank God I could not swing enough, because I probably would have went to jail. So I get home and I tell her, I said, the next time that he cuss at me like that, I'm gonna punch him in his mouth. No, I didn't mean that I'm gonna literally punch the little boy in the mouth. A lot of us say things, you want me to take this broom and go upside your head? We don't really mean, well, some of don't mean it, But most of we don't really mean it. We're just talking, or the frustration. Why would he say that to, what's he say? Yeah, why would he cuss you? What did you do to him to make him cuss you? So that right there upset me, because I'm like, whatever I did, as long as it wasn't, inappropriate or nothing like that, he have no right to be cussing me. Anybody. So that upset me and stuff, and I started to walk outside. Just get out. Just get out. Just get out. Like I said, she said that before. I had to go to work anyways. So I left, go to work. My intent was come home later on, everything be all done. Tomorrow start a new day. It didn't happen. So I get a phone call from my mother telling me not to go back to the house, because if I go back to the house, the girl is gonna call the police, and this is gonna happen, and blah blah blah. And me and police no agree. That's all you have to do. Mention police. I'm gone. I'm gone. I don't like police. None at all. So you don't have to worry about me coming back. So I didn't come back. That was in November of 2017. I left in November, and in December, people started to really say, like, I'm really, really losing weight. And not only them saying that, but me also noticing the weight loss. Like, I would look in the mirror and I can see my collarbone.
Wow.
So I turn around, I can see my backbone. I don't have to pose. I don't have to. I just look in the mirror with one mirror, looking like that, and I see my backbone and everything. I look down on my wrist. No, I could barely put my hand fully around it. At one time, it all like it's nothing. So I was noticing the weight loss. As you guys know, I was born with the Hirschsprung disease, and with that, I spent a lot of time in the hospital. So I have this fear of hospitals, even now.
Oh.
Just the smell of the hospital alone, someone in the doctor's outfit, it just gives me like the. But what I'm petrified of is the needles. I'm petrified. I'm really scared of needles. So, with me being scared of needles, I didn't, and hospitals and stuff like that, I wouldn't go to the doctor, to the dentist. I wouldn't go to get checkups and all of those type of stuff, So that's December. I will go into January. Now January, I start, getting these coughs, real heavy, dry cough. I'm coughing, nothing coming up. I want it, but nothing is really coming up. You know? And the cough is getting worse and worse and worse. So until like the second month of January, 2018, I I got real, I got real sick, like feverish and everything, you know. I got a fever of 104 point something degrees one
Wow.
month. I woke up out of my sleep in the cold sweats and everything, but this time I was like shivering, like if I was cold, you know. And I'm coughing. I can't eat. Like I my mind is saying I want to eat, but I don't have an appetite. I don't want to eat. And I'm very tired all the time. Started to notice all of those little things, you know. But like I said, I woke up that one morning and had the fever. I took some Tylenol to see if it would reduce the fever. It didn't really work too tough. So basically, I ended up have to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital and they was there examining me, and till they start to say they they were asking me if I want to take a HIV test. I said HIV test? No. Why would I? No, I don't want to take. No. Number one, you have to stick with needle. No. And I said, well, you should take one, and you should. I said, why should I take one? Because it's better to know than not to know.
Yes.
So I said, oh, okay, well, no, I don't want to know. if I have, no, I'm good. So with the coughing and everything, they were saying that it was bronchitis. So they gave me some medication. They gave me medication for the bronchitis. I'm taking the medicine, and it's not getting, the cough is not getting any better. I done went home and everything now, you know. The cough is not getting any better, I got another fever. That time it was 103.6 or something like that. Still high, you know, but not too, still too high, you know, but not too as high as it was before. So, and then the cough was really bad. So it just so happened that at the time that I did get the fever, I was supposed to go back for a follow-up anyways that day for the bronchitis. So I went back and they saw that it wasn't working. When they weighed me, I guess they saw that I even lost more weight than when I was just there, and that had just been a few weeks. So they asked me, have I been exercising? I said, no. Are you any on diet pills? I said, no. Are you asking me all these things that am I doing to make me lose weight? And I said, no, I'm not doing anything. Have you been eating? I said, no, not really. I just don't have an appetite, you know. Mr. Farragon, you should take a HIV test. I don't want to take none of that. We think you really should, but it's up to you. And they go on. And I guess they must have, I don't know, must have known me from the past or whatever it is. But they're bringing this nice, sexy nurse. So beautiful. And she convinced me to stick with the needle. I don't even remember when she stick me with the needle, guys. I was so infatuated.
Focus on the niceness.
Oh my God, she nice. And I look, and then she up close, and I look on the bosom, and she nice. And I'm just looking and talking and coughing and.
Welcome, Duffus. The million land cut.
They take the blood, and but at first, okay, when they first do an HIV test, it's only they prick you on your finger and they take a little blood. They don't draw blood from you. They just prick your finger. So you know, she hold my hand, she pricked the finger, she leave. It was only about 30 minutes, but to me it seemed like forever, like a forever 30 minutes. If the doctor finally come back and he said, sorry to inform you, but you're positive for HIV. So I said, what? They said, yes, you're positive for HIV, and we need to know how much of the HIV is there. So we're gonna have to draw blood, send it to the labs, and this and that, and blah 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 blah. But we don't advise you to leave the hospital. Would you mind staying the night so that we can, watch you and stuff like that, and da. So I said, well, I explained to them how I am. I'm not good with hospitals and this and that. Mr. Farragon, we really think that you need to stay, and if you don't want to, it's up to you. But we think you need to stay. I tried to stay, but I couldn't. I was there for a few hours, then went to finally go up to the other floor. They admit me. I tried to stay, but I just couldn't do it, so I left. But I walked out. I couldn't do it. It was bringing back whatever, so I couldn't do it. But they wanted me to come back the next day so that they could draw the blood. So I came back the next day. They draw the blood. Again, I had to wait for a few days this time. They call me because they let me go back home. So they call me, and at first I didn't know the number, so I wasn't answering, and they just kept calling and kept calling and kept calling and kept calling. So finally I answered the phone, and they told me that they need to see me right away. I need to come in, blah blah blah. So I went in. They sit down, and they were explaining to me about the human body and how much of the HIV I do have in me. For some of you who might not know, some of you may know, but some of you might not know. The human body is supposed to have between 500 and 1200 white blood cells. Your white blood cells are your CD4 cells. I call them your soldier cells, the cells that help fight off all bacteria, sicknesses, and stuff like that. The cells that build up your immune system, basically. So you're supposed to have 500 to 1200 white blood cells in order to be healthy, right? When I got diagnosed, and they told me exactly how much of it was in me, I only had 23 white blood cells left. 23 white blood cells. That's all I had left. And the virus was like, I think, 85 billion, and multiplying and duplicating as we spoke. Because it duplicates itself by the second, the HIV virus. So yeah, they told me, they told me my count, and that I need to get on treatment now, not soon as possible, but now, because if I don't, because of where I'm at, I could die within days. They said they have meds, but because I'm so far gone, the meds might not work in time or as effective because I'm already far gone.
Yes.
And that's why they always encourage people to always get tested, because it's better to know than not to know. That way, if you do
Early detection,
you can always take care of it early. And so I was skeptical about taking the meds because I'm not really one for pharmaceutical, meds. And so I was kind of skeptical. So it took me about 2 days to actually say, okay, I'll take it. And I think it really took the 2 days because my eyesight was getting blurry. I was basically getting worse, and I was like, okay, let me give this a try. So I started taking the meds. They wanted to run other tests on me as well. So I let them run all the tests that they wanted, because like I said, I was having trouble breathing, the coughing, and I had rashes breaking out on my skin. But I thought the rashes was eczema.
All right, pause a while, David, because you reach a very important point that I want people to pay attention to. Because you're speaking now about some signs that would indicate to you that something is indeed wrong. But you brushed them off thinking that they were other stuff because you have other simple things that have similar symptoms and signs. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of us who are listening, I tried you to pay attention to this part here because he's speaking about signs and symptoms, and sometimes we see things maybe not in the same vein that he's talking about. We see things and we brush it off and we like to self-diagnose because that's how we stay, don't we?
Yep.
We know, yes.
Yep.
So continue.
Thank you. Yeah, so there were rashes that were breaking out on my back, my chest, the whole of up here was all starting to peel, and you go like this, my scalp is peeling. I was peeling, my eye sockets start to suck in. I was just a mess, and so they wanted to run other tests. And they ran those other tests, and it came back where they said I had skin cancer and lung cancer, and they wanted to do chemotherapy, but it's risky. Chemotherapy with an HIV patient, or with an, well, actually, HIV is different than AIDS. You can have HIV and not have AIDS, but you can't have AIDS and not have HIV. HIV progresses into AIDS once
Mhm.
it is untreated. It manifests
Yes.
into AIDS. They say that process is between an 8 to 10 year process, but that's not always actually true, because
Mm.
each person is different. So each person have different amount of white blood cells in them, and unless you are the type to go get tested to know your white blood cell count, you're not gonna know to know if certain issues are going on or not. So with me having those so low white blood cells, I was past the HIV status. I was full blown AIDS. When they first prick the finger, it just says HIV positive. It's not until they draw the blood where they could say, okay, HIV or AIDS. And like I said, because of the amount of the virus that was in me, because of as low as my white blood cells were, I was considered to have AIDS. Once your white blood cells reach 200 or less, they say it's considered AIDS. But your white blood cells can reach 200 or less, and it's not AIDS. It could be something else. You have other things out there. You have lupus. You have a host of other things out there that affect the immune system, that could make your immune system drop. So it's not just that it drops, it's actually HIV or AIDS or anything. It's just, in my case, it just happened to be, AIDS. And like I said, they ran the other tests. They found the lung cancer and they found the skin cancer. They wanted to do chemotherapy, but it was risky on a HIV patient, especially one with such low immune system. Chemotherapy, what it does, chemotherapy mad. It not have no sense. The only thing it knows to do is kill off cells. It kills the white blood cells, and your red blood cells. Now, if I was to get chemotherapy, it would kill off the rest of the cells that I have. I would have complications on the table. So I started taking the meds. The immune system built up a little bit more. They suggested that they try the chemotherapy. They tried it, as they said, it went wrong. So we stopped it. We didn't do it anymore. I was on these meds, and at first it boosted my immune system a little bit. I was at 25, it brought me up to like 32 or something like that. Within a long period of time, like a 3-month time or something like that, or 2 months maybe. I don't like doctors. I don't like hospitals. I don't like taking meds. Especially if I'm taking it and it's not improving, So I would have to go for like follow-ups. And I go for the follow-ups, and the follow-ups include, drawing blood to check the levels and da. And they would keep asking me, am I taking the meds? Am I sure I'm taking the meds? Yes. I don't like to, I don't want to, but yes. Well, you're not going down, but you're not going up. With my white blood cells, it's like they were just staying there, and they were saying that's not normal. Maybe the meds are not working. Let's try a different med. So they tried a different med. That didn't work. They tried a different med. That worked, but it didn't work that good. I don't like meds, like I said. I don't like doctors. So during all of this now, I was doing a little bit of research. Let me back up a little bit though.
Good morning, Gina.
When I first got diagnosed, a friend of mine, he knew about it. I told him. I actually told a few people, and so he heard, and he called me one day. I was asleep, and he called me, woke me up, and he was telling me that, asking me if I ever heard of, actually, let me back up a little bit. While I was asleep, I had a dream, and I dreamed that I was somewhere. I don't remember where I was. Somewhere, but I was somewhere, and someone was with me, and they were bringing me to go see a doctor. In the dream, the doctor's name was Dr. Shebby. I have never heard of this man in my life at the time. Never knew nothing about him. I just, was having this dream named Dr. Shebby. Then in the morning, when I did get the phone call, my friend was asking me if I ever heard of Dr. Sebi. And I said, Dr. who? He said, Dr. Sebi. And I said, no, I've never heard of him. What's up? What about him? And he was telling me how he's a herbal doctor, and I need to, go check him out. I guess they killed him or whatever. But he cured AIDS and many other different stuff. I need to go check him out. So I went and started doing research. I'm the type that I'm always reading up something, looking up something, researching something. So when he told me that, I went and I'm looking up on him. I'm watching his YouTube videos. I'm doing all I can to look up on him. Upon stumbling on him, I stumbled on some other herbalists as well. But Dr. Sebi is the one who stuck out to me, and I really started looking into his stuff, and but his stuff is really expensive, and I'm thinking, and he was his place was based in Honduras, so I'm thinking, okay, how am I gonna get to Honduras? How am I gonna order his stuff and this and that and that. I started telling some other friends about this Dr. Sebi. Some of them knew about him, some of them didn't. But a few people got together and basically financially helped me get some products from Dr. Sebi's wife, Ma'a. And I ordered the stuff. It came. It's a detox, and it's two different type of detox, and immune system tea. You're supposed to detox first. Well, I took a little bit of the detox thing, and it was the most disgusting thing I ever tasted in my life. So I couldn't drink it right. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It was disgusting, disgusting. But few days passed, and I see that I had to do something. You see, with these antiretroviral drugs, with these drugs that are for AIDS, once you start them, you have to take them every single day at the same time that you take them every day. If you stop taking them, you risk the virus creating a mechanism where if you decide to take those meds again, they're not going to work. And possibly if you try another med, it might not work, you know, because the virus is so smart that it creates this mechanism against the meds if you miss or alter or anything like that. So I knew that I had to do something. Ordered the stuff from Ma'a. Like I said, I tasted it. It was disgusting. I knew I had to do something. A few days later, I just said, you know what? Let me just swallow this. I did it. Boom. Kind of made me throw up a little bit. It made me go to the bathroom a lot. A lot. The second one, it tasted a lot better, but it really, it's like it make out a laxative or something. No. Or maybe because of my stomach issue already, maybe that's why I was just, it's like I drink and it's just coming out. I eat, it's just coming out. It's like, it was like a laxative, you know? And it also made me throw up a lot of phlegm, a lot of gunk, a lot of nastiness, you know. Then I started taking the tea that he gave me, and I'm taking the tea, and while I'm taking this stuff now, I didn't only just start taking those meds. I also changed my diet, the way I was eating, the things. So the seafood, the well, I'm not gonna say all seafood, but like shell food, crabs, shrimps, stuff like that. I stopped eating. I stopped drinking certain things, milk. I stopped eating white. I stopped using white sugar. I stopped using white rice, cooked with black rice. You know,
Okay.
I just changed up my whole diet and started eating an alkaline diet.
Yes.
And that is what, you know, started boosting me back up. Now I was still getting the meds from the doctor, but I wasn't taking them because you cannot mix the herbal. They say you can't mix the herbal stuff with the pharmaceutical stuff. It can cause a reaction, this and that, da. So you're either gonna take one or you're gonna take the other. You know, so I didn't tell my doctors that I stopped, but I just stopped. They're still sending the prescription, and still taking the blood. But they see a change. It's starting to go up. My immune system is starting to go up. The virus is starting to go down, down. And they're like, yes, Mr. Ferguson, the drug, the Victavia, it's that.
Welcome, Shelby. Yeah, your girl Lala. Sorry.
Genovia. But they were like, the Genovia, it's finally working, and this and that, and since it's working, we're gonna put you on a stronger dosage to see that if it can boost it up. It's the same pill, but it goes by a different name, and this and that, and that. A true minnow said, "Me not gonna take it anyway." Okay, he just okay, he just to get out of the office. So months and months and months and months going by, and the CD4, the T cells, they're rising. The virus is going down, it's going down, it's going down, until it comes to a point where the rash gone, no chemo. The lung cancer gone, no chemo, no nothing. They had to retest for it, nothing. It's like they said it reversed, you know. And again, the immune system going up, the virus going down. They congratulate me. Oh, Mr. Farragon, congratulations, it's going down. Keep up the good work. Da 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 da. Till finally, I'm at a point where they call it they say undetectable. You know, and undetectable means that you are HIV positive, but you are not able to pass it on. So you can have unprotected sex and not pass it to someone. You can have unprotected sex and
welcome, Shelby.
And release, and you can have a child and the child not be born negative, where it wouldn't be born positive. Once you stay and maintain your undetectable status, you know. And so I'm undetectable.
Farming in the city.
I'm undetectable. Hello, Farming. Blessed greetings. I'm undetectable. I'm undetectable. I'm undetectable. I'm still getting the monthly. Well, instead of at first it was weekly where they had to draw blood every week. Then it was every 2 weeks. Then it was once a month. Then from once a month went to every 3 months. Right? So they're drawing blood, and undetected went to negative. And I was like, how is this? Negative? How is he negative? But he was positive. So they want to run another HIV test. They said, we want to test you to see if, you know. And I'm like, why? You already know I am. We just want to test, because they didn't tell me that it said negative. You know, they just said they want to test again because they find something not quite right, and they want to make sure that they are right. So they test again, and they find out that it's a negative. That's when they tell me that, you know, they tested me again and it's negative. And
Jamor, come here.
They haven't seen anything like this. They've only heard of it one time before, and this is a miracle, and blah blah blah, and keep up. You know, am I still taking the meds, this and that? And I'm lying to them. I don't like to lie, but I was lying to them and saying yes, I'm still taking them. And long story short, I stopped and was just taking the herbal tea, you know, and now I'm here today.
You can hear me,
Yeah,
David?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I can hear you now. But yeah, so that's where I'm at today. Um, I know I've been talking for a while, and I don't want to leave out anybody in the chat. I don't know if there's a lot of talk that was going on or any questions. And if
I've,
you have any questions, they can feel free to ask me anything. Yeah.
because I've been going through the chat. They're mostly greeting each other, but
Mhm.
now I remember Ingard wrote something earlier. Said, "How do you get the strength to go on?"
I would have to say God, because if it wasn't for Him, I probably would have killed myself a long time ago. I probably,
Badu Blacks.
I, I,
Thank you, darling, for
I,
coming.
I don't know. I probably would have killed myself
3 million.
by now if it wasn't for God. So I want to say He's my strength. It's not me. It's Him. And then I have a strong mind on top of it. A strong willpower. So it just and it makes me this thing makes me want to encourage others. you know I mean, I've used to do a lot a lot of research, a lot of reading, like I said, and stuff like that. But in school, when high school and stuff like that, they would have a class called Dugu Dugu education, and of course that's not what they call it. I'm just, but but Dugu Dugu education, and that was one of my favorite classes, and
Sex education was one of your favorites.
yes, oh yes, one of my favorite, and so I learned
Millionaires. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot through those classes, but I never really did research about them, about diseases, about anything like that. I would always do other research, the Illuminati, the stars, the Bible, all kind of other studies I would study, you know. And it wasn't until this happened that I start to study health even more than the other stuff, or more than I've ever done. And because I realized that a lot of us, we take health for granted, or we take good health for granted, and we underestimate sicknesses and illnesses and diseases. So I don't know if it's God. Maybe it is, or maybe it's not, or maybe it's just my conscience, or an angel He sent. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like when I first started YouTube, it wasn't for this. It wasn't to be a content creator or anything like that. I was just using it to store my videos on YouTube, just for somewhere to put my stuff. After this diagnosis, I kind of got like the inspiration to encourage others that no matter what they are going through, they can get through it. And no matter what they are going through, there is somebody out there that is way worse off than them. Way worse off than them. I believe I said that same thing in the beginning of this live. We forget that there is somebody else worse off than us. You know, what about the person that doesn't have an arm? What about the child with the flies going in and out his mouth, doesn't have a shelter over their head? What about the young lady getting raped right now as we speak? What about, you know, the guy who was minding his own business, got shot in his head and he died? What about that? You know, what about my brother? I just buried my brother back in December from COVID. He died of COVID in jail. He got COVID in jail and he died. 44 years old. What about him? His situation is worse than mine.
Yes.
You understand? Their situation is worse than mine. So no matter where we go, no matter what we're going through, we might be going through something, but we can, especially if we have God by our side, we can get through it. We can get through it. You know? Nothing is impossible for God. Nothing. So when asked how do I get the strength, it's through Him. It's through God, you know?
There you have it. David is giving all credit to God because he said that if it was different, chances are we right here wouldn't have known him because he would have long exited this earth here. So all praises to God, and that simply means that, you know, David must have exercised his faith some way, somehow. And
I mean, there were times when I wanted to give up. There were times when I just didn't want to live no more. And I never had the thought to kill myself,
mm-hmm.
you know, to do myself harm or to do something so someone can do me harm. I never had that thought or made that gesture. You know, a lot of things I may have said or posted may have led people to think this man is sick, him suicidal, something wrong with him. But I would never hurt myself. You know,
So while you were hurting and while uncertainty loomed and all of that, you have never gotten to the point where you consider self-harm.
no, never got to the point where I considered self-harm, but I got to the point where I didn't want to live no more. I didn't want to I didn't really want to live no more because people I guess it's stigma or something.
And I'm happy you touched on that, because I was going to ask you a little bit about that, because I know how people can be even for simpler things. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Even for people who are diabetic, people who have high potential, because your family is not a family that has family members suffering from certain things. You have people who ridicule you, who will say this, who will say that, and even rejection for employment and all of these things. So if you don't mind, touch a little bit on that, and let us know what you have experienced and how you know, push on through, you know, maybe being rejected for a position, whatever the case may be. You, if you don't mind, could you touch on that a little bit for us? And, you know.
Yeah, you know, like I said in the beginning, I was kind of popular. Not kind of, I was popular, you know. A lot of female friends, a lot of male friends, you know. When I was diagnosed, I noticed those so-called friends were not around. They started to disappear. You know, people I would normally hang around, they don't want to hang no more, and it hurt. It hurt. You know, but what hurt a lot, you know, like I've been cheated on before, obviously, you know, but when a woman or a man give you a bun, it hurt. It hurt. I know it hurts, especially if you care about them. But when the church give you a bun, it bun. It don't just hurt. It bun. It sting.
You want to elaborate a little bit on that part when you said that when the church give you a bun? Welcome again, Stacy, and congratulations again, Stacy, for being monetized.
Congratulations! Hip hip hooray for Stacy! Hip hip
Yes.
hooray!
She had a
blow.
since evening.
But I can't blow.
So congrats again, darling. Enough work. You understand me? That's how we want to celebrate Servant David here too. So again,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you said the church to your bun. Elaborate on that now.
The church give me bun more than once in different ways, but I don't mean to pat myself.
Welcome, RJ.
I don't mean to pat myself on the back.
Mm-hmm.
But for me to be so involved in the church, so involved, I wasn't just going to church, sit down and watch or listen or fall asleep. No. Remember, I was a Sunday school teacher. I was the valet parking, and I wasn't getting paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
I did security.
Mm-hmm.
And I led men's choir. Actually, they didn't even have a men's choir. It was me who kind of formed a men's choir. It started off with me and two other people until we got up to about 13 people. Then it was 20 something people in total, all men, right? But they didn't have a men's choir. And I helped build that men's choir. I'm doing the parking, I'm doing the security, I'm doing the teaching, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm faithfully coming to church. I'm faithfully paying my tithes. You would think that when I come to you as the pastor and say, Pastor, I need to talk to you. What's up, Dave? I was diagnosed, blah, 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 blah. What? Are you serious? How you get that? I said, I don't know, Pastor, but I need some prayer. Okay. I'm going to pray for you, but right now, I have to get ready to start service. Service wasn't starting for another 25, 30 minutes. You gave me 3 minutes prayer.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. So that burned me. To me, that's bun. Then I'm thinking, okay.
The hottest bun.
Then I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's gonna call me up during church and have the church pray for me. I didn't tell the church yet, but I would have. You know, so if he did it, I wouldn't have been like, why did you go and do that? And you know, because I'm going to tell it anyways, you know, so for me, go ahead, you know. But he didn't call me up. He did not call me up to come get prayer during service or after service. So after church, what do you think I did? I left. I cry, I pray. It wasn't until that following Wednesday, so that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days later, 3 days later, he called me and he said something to me. He said, I'm sorry to hear about what happened to you, and I just don't know what to say to you, and how do you think you got it, and da 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 da. Finally, he did pray for me. Finally he did pray for me after the conversation or whatever, but I didn't really receive it as a sincere prayer. It was, to me, it was more like a fluke, and you're calling to get information. You just, I don't know. It just didn't seem sincere to me.
Wow.
So yeah, it just.
And to think that they always said that is where, if any place else, that is where you should go. Yes, you go to the cross, but you know where we have to travel to, right to the church. And since you have been instrumental in several aspects in the church, you were someone who was very active. So it's not one of them lazy member that some people don't remember. You were there in everyone's face. Everyone see you, everyone had the encounter with you, experience your kindness, experience your work that you were doing there. You understand me? Experience the joy and the love that you put into what you put in there. And I can understand that it must burn you for true when you
burned me. Mm-hmm. It burned me, yes, but it didn't burn me like what came after.
All right, go right on it. Slap us with that, no?
Because after you say you have a prayer and this and that, you are telling me that you're taking me down from the men's choir. You're taking me down from praise and worship. You're taking me down from the valet parking. So you're basically putting me on a sabbatical or
they
whatever.
Demoted you.
Huh?
They demoted you.
Demoted me. Not only that, but now people start to hear what's going on and this and that. You have a full church. I always sat in the back because, like I said, I was active in the church, and a lot of time I would have someone's car key or something, and instead of getting up and interrupt the congregation when they want to leave or whatever, it's best if I'm to the back where, they can't really, there's not that much commotion, So how is it that the church is full and the row that I always sit in that is always full, one person missing, two people missing, me, and each week that row gets smaller and smaller until I'm the only one in that row. And if I'm not the only one, it's me and somebody way down there, sitting about 6 or 7 seats down from away from me. That hurt. That's when I wanted to kill myself. But I said, you know what? No. We just now go come back. We just now come back. We now come back. And that was the last day I went to that church. I like to have service.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I said, a lot of my so-called friends in the world, they started disappearing. And so even though the virus, started to go down and the immune system started to come up, mentally I was starting to go down, like down, because I'm losing these people that's close to me or who I thought should be close to me. to tell you the truth, it wasn't even people who are in, and I'm not saying the whole church turned on me. No, I'm not saying that. So if any of you are listening, you know that are from the church, because I don't know who actually came on in here. Some people might be in the background. I did tell some people that I was going to be on here. There are some people who already heard the story, whatever. I don't know if any of them came, but if any of you are here listening, or any of somebody may take this, play it for someone, share it for someone, and someone who knows me that was going to the church actually sees this. I'm saying to you, if you are one of the ones who were there, who the cap fit weird, if the shoe too big, it not fit you, right? So if you know I'm not talking about you, then don't feel no way. There were some people there who did have my back. There were some people there who were supportive of me. Very little, but there were some. And I'm thankful for the very little, because the very little was much, because it didn't have to be anybody. You know, there were a little bit of people who from the church who did, you know, embrace me, who did not act different, who did not change. There were a lot of people in the world who did change and stuff like that. But a lot of my support came from people I don't know, people I did not know. It came from social media, people from Facebook. I would say YouTube, but not really too much YouTube, because I wasn't really deep into YouTube like that until after. You know, when I decided, you know, that, you know, I'm gonna use YouTube as a way to spread health awareness and to encourage others that no matter what they are going through, they can get through it. No matter what they're going through, they can get through anything they're going through. If I got through this, you can get through that. And if you can get through that, then the next person can get through this and this and that. It's not easy, but it is possible. You know, and I also want to touch on sympathy and prayer. You know, a lot of people, when they hear something about someone, especially a illness or something like that, and especially a chronic illness, you know, people will say, "Oh, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray." And some of them mean it, and some of them don't. And some of them who actually do pray for you, a lot of times they pray, "Oh God, heal him. Oh God, heal her. Oh God, heal. Oh God, by next week. Oh God." But we got to remember that God does not work on our time. And if we want to hear God laugh, tell him our plans, and we'll see how hard him laugh. God don't need us to make no decision. God don't need us to make plans. He don't need any blueprints or anything like that. You know, just continue to trust in God. No matter what, with God you can get through anything. I want to write a book. I started writing a book, but all I did was write it down. You know, write it down on paper and stuff like that. I don't know any other further steps to go to write the book. There's still a lot that needs to be written and edited and this and that and whatever. But
call me about that.
Huh?
Tell me about that.
I plan on writing a book. It's just I don't know how to really go about it. Like,
so I'm telling you to call me regarding that.
Oh, okay. So but yeah, I was saying we need to trust God and stop thinking that he needs us. to do things, because he doesn't need us. He uses us to do things, but he doesn't need us to do things. So put everything in God's hands and trust his will. And I was saying, a lot of people, they say, you know, oh, I'm going to pray for you for this, I pray for you for that, and pray for you for healing, when God answers all prayers. It's just a lot of times it's the answer that he gives us is not the answer that we want to get. It's not the answer that we're comfortable with. We don't
the answer that we're looking for.
We don't want to hear that answer. Sometimes you say, God, heal him or heal her. He may choose to heal that person mentally and not physically. He may choose to heal them physically. He may choose to heal them spiritually. But no, God heals me spiritually or mentally, which I don't think I really need mental healing. I could use some spiritual healing, but mental healing I don't think. But maybe I do need it. But suppose he heals me spiritually and I die because, you know, from other opportunistic diseases. People say, oh, look how me pray for him and God never answered the prayer. And God, no, he did answer the prayer. He just healed me in a different way.
Yes.
You know, so and you talk about rejection. You know, I've tried to like I got rejected in the church, of course, you know.
Yes.
I tried to talk to some people, like you know, hook up with people, and I'm up front. I tell people about my situation off the top, you know, and they don't want to hear that. Well, it's not that they don't want to hear that, but they hear it and then they don't want to. They automatically put me on this friend list.
This app will change your life.
You know, they automatically put me on this list where they just want to be friends or whatever. You know, I met this one girl, and after me telling other people, you know, I said, well, I'm not going to tell this one. I'm going to wait a little while. The girl start to like me. I start to like the girl. I tell the girl, finally, you know what happened? She said I betrayed her. I trick her. I make her feel, you know, get attached to me, and then I tell her something like that, knowing that she most likely wouldn't want to be with me. I should have told her from the beginning, and this and that. And so I was just out of stuck, like, you know. But it is what it is, you know. People with HIV deserve love as well. Everybody deserves somebody, you know. And I'm actually doing an LS about this Thursday. I think it is 7:00. I'm doing an LS about would you date someone who was diagnosed with HIV, or would you continue dating someone who is diagnosed with HIV?
All right. Welcome, Sassy Diva. Welcome, everyone. Thank you guys for coming. As you mentioned that you were rejected, and you said that people with HIV need love too, and I agree with you. But do you think people's attitude really stem from the fact that they're ignorant about the entire things? Do you think that they need to be sensitized? They are not fully aware of the information, because when most people think about that, and some of the things that I come to learn, the truth of the matter is, first time when you hear about that and somebody with that, you want to run to the hills when they come. And that's the truth. So I think that there needs to be more sensitization. There needs to be more, schooling,
More education on it, yes.
Yes. So I think on that note, people are downright scared. So even if they love they are afraid to venture into certain part because they think that is doom and gloom. And people automatically think that when you get that, it's an instant death sentence. So people are looking for you that when you're diagnosed now, they're looking for you to be off tomorrow, next week. You understand me? By the end of the year. So people really and truly, to my knowledge, here people are not aware, even though it is something, and you see the ads on television and they're telling you, advertising this medication that you can take, and that widespread, that wholesale sensitization, that education that needs to be put out there. I don't think it is happening, and I don't think many people are fully equipped with knowledge enough to understand how they can navigate through something like that, how they can really come and get involved with someone who is positive and still having a lovely relationship, and they might be able to remain, So I think that is one of the main problems.
Oh yes, the stigma, and the myths about it, it is what draws fear to people, like you said, the misinformation about it. And that's one of the reasons why I want to start here. I'm not going to say use YT as that type of platform, because if I could do a TV show, I would, but I know everything takes time. Everything takes a step. I know in anything that we do, we get a fight, whether it's good or bad, you get fight, so whether
Welcome, billionaire.
Whether it's America, Jamaica, or Guyana, you get fight, So I'm expecting to get, some fight on it and this and that. But I want to start here on YouTube, and I said this from in the beginning. I even have a video about it. My first video, I believe, is where I was saying, that's why I'm here on YouTube, to spread health awareness to people and to encourage others. Not necessarily to get monetized. To tell you the truth, I don't want any money from YT. It's like church. I don't think the church should be selling Bibles. I don't think the church should be selling CDs that they do sermons and stuff like that. I know they have to make money, and I know they have to buy the material, but where there's a will, there's a way, and if it's really truly for God, then God will provide. That's how I see it. That's my experience. So you shouldn't have to sell a Bible. You shouldn't have to sell a church CD or anything like that. So the information that I have to give, especially on Health Awareness Wednesdays, I'm not trying to sell that. I want to spread health awareness. I want to encourage other people that they can go on. I don't want to be paid for my encouragement. So I'm not really headstrong on being monetized if it means I'm going to get paid. I would like to get the 1,000K, the 2,000K, the 4,000K, and still don't even be monetized. If YT could make money off of me, I'm fine with that. They can make money off of me. I don't care. If YT said, well, the only way for you to get monetized is if you do get paid and they do start to pay me, knowing me, I would probably turn around and donate the money right back to YouTube. Because my view on it is, if it wasn't for YouTube, none of us would be here to use YouTube at all. At all. So give it back to YouTube so that they can better their what they're doing. Some people say, you think YT need your money? Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. But they can take whatever they was going to give me and give to somebody else, if that be the case, if they really don't need it. But making money Alpha YT is not my reason for being here. It is to spread health awareness and, like I said, to encourage others. In between that, to also make people laugh. You know, that's why I try to give a little joke here and there, even in the good. I mean, not the good, even in the bad times. I try to throw a little haha in there. You know, sometimes it's not haha. When we do the haha, it's not haha. But I try, you know, because it takes more muscles in your mouth and not your mouth, in your face, and this is proven. But it takes more muscles in your face for you to frown than it does for you to smile.
Mhm.
You know, so if I can make a person smile, laughter is medicine. Laughter is medicine. Somebody could be listening to something that I'm doing, and they having problem with arthritis, psoriasis, or what's the pain, the sciatica. You
Mhm.
know, they could be a headache, whatever they could be having, and I say a funny little joke, and they joke and they laugh, and that laugh make them forget about them pain for a good 10 minutes. That's medicine,
Mhm.
you know. So that's my story, and again, I'm not looking any pity party.
Mhm.
I will gladly take the roses and the flowers now. I'd rather you give them to me now. I would rather take the kisses now and the hugs now, other than after I'm gone, because
Mhm.
I can't do nothing with them when I'm gone, you know. But just don't do a pity party, or nothing like that, you know. And just know, like I said, if I can get through this, you can get through that. And if you going through that, somebody is going through this. And that's all I can really, you know, leave you with tonight. Just keep the faith. It's not easy. A lot of time, most time, it's hard. It's easier said than done.
Mhm.
It's easier said than done. You know,
True.
but it is possible. So I'm sorry. So
Alright. I know you because you have been here a while, so yeah, I know you must be tired. You have been talking and talking and talking, and we really and truly appreciate it. I'm not even going to ask anybody if they have any question because
yes,
you have
man.
been,
Ask them. Give them a
you,
chance. You can
okay,
ask.
you're willing to all right. So
You can.
somebody said great, a word of wisdom and encouragement is good from Sassy Diva. No, David is still here and is willing and is asking if any of you have any question. It doesn't matter what aspect of whatever I said tonight, that you have a question. He is willing to answer you. So whatever question you have, feel free to shoot it now so he can have a go at it before he leaves. So if you have any question, you can ask now. Or if there's any concern, anything that you want to know that you think he can assist you with, you know, in answering, in clearing up anything that you have in your head, any stories that you have heard regarding any of the illnesses that he spoke about since night, and you're not sure and you think he can clear up something for you, or he can really and truly confirm, then have a go at it. He'll answer
And
you. Mhm.
and while I wait for those questions, I want to go back a little bit. And you know, like I said, I was married when I was diagnosed. And when I did get diagnosed, I right away I went to her after,
Mhm.
not accusing her or anything like that. just telling her that she needs to go get tested. You know, up till this day, up until this day here, I do not know if she ever went to go get tested. In the beginning, I would ask her, did she go get tested? Me don't want to talk about that right now. Okay? I thought maybe, because everybody handle things different. So I thought maybe she needs some time. Gave her a little bit of time. I asked her again. Me don't want to talk about that. Me don't want to talk about that. Give her some time. Ask her again, maybe a few weeks later. I asked her, why you so adamant on knowing if me go get tested? Why? You can't hold your mouth. You love chat, so you can go around and chat and say, me give you this and me give you that. And I said, no, sweetheart. It's not that I want to go around telling people this or telling people that. And yeah, you know me. I most likely I am gonna talk about this. I won't necessarily bring up your name, but I am going to talk about this because it is me and I do have the right to speak about it. But I don't want to know if you went to go get tested for myself. I want to know if you went to get tested for you, because when I was diagnosed, I was at a very detrimental time. I was basically too far gone. You might not be as bad as I was, so you can catch it earlier if you do have it. Well, me not tell you, my type me go, just giving me attitude. So after a while, I just stopped asking her if she go. I figured I did my part. Mm-hmm. I went to her doctor, and he couldn't give me any information. By law, they cannot, even though I'm her husband.
That they can't.
Right. By law, even though I'm her husband, even though he knows I'm her husband,
they can't.
They can't. And he didn't, and I respect that. I just wanted to know if she went. I didn't want to know, did she have it? Because when I went to her doctor, I told him, I just want to know, did she come to you about it? I don't want to know if she has it. I just want to know, did she come to you? Mm-hmm. And he told me he couldn't. He told me he couldn't tell me. Mm-hmm. So, but I say that because she could have given it to me, or I could have given it to her. Like I said, I used to be loose.
Welcome, Tallman.
I used to be loose and all of those things, and I could have been the one to give it to her. She could have been the one to give it to me. So I'm not saying pointing no finger to say yes, definitely. The only thing that I'm saying is because the red flags seem that where else did it come from? Other signs as well. She has one of her sons. He has, obviously he has a father, but his father died a few years ago, right? And he died of a specific pneumonia. At the time, I didn't know about that pneumonia until I started doing my research, but it's a pneumonia that is associated with AIDS.
Yes.
And he died of that pneumonia, While I was in the house, I would look in the cabinet and I see certain medications and this and that, where at the time, I didn't know what they were. I thought they were prenatal pills or whatever, woman this and woman that. And, I'm not searching through nothing. It wasn't until I do my research where I start getting flashbacks and I remember what I was seeing. But even if it is her who gave it to me, I'm asking you guys not to cuss her, not to shout her down or scorn her or nothing. I'm asking you guys just to pray for her strength, pray for her to keep on going, and pray for her to make right decisions, and any other prayer requests that you may have for her. I don't wish any harm on her. If I saw her in harm, I would try to save her. I'm not saying I want her back. I'm not saying I don't want her back. But it's not about that. Like I said, I'm still there for her kids. The son that she has where his father died, I am his father, basically. I'm not, but I am. And I'm a father to the rest of the kids as well. And I'm not trying to get back with her. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the kids don't have anything to do with our breakup, So why take it out on them? And if they didn't love me the way they did, then maybe I would just be, oh, all right. But because they accept me as their father, call me daddy, they call their original biological father by his name. They call me dad or daddy. So that says a lot. And I'm not your biological father. That says a whole lot. That goes for the first marriage, and that also goes for the second marriage. Both kids and grandkids call me daddy or grandpa. So I'm just asking that you guys keep her in your prayers.
Ah, that's quite noble of you, because a lot of people would be angry, even when certain things is unconfirmed, how people are. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. Someone here says, I would say she was behaving stupid, but maybe she was afraid of the stigma, hence why she didn't want to do it. You understand? Because you have some people who, instead of going and doing it, finding out to confirm that it is so, they rather stay over here in the safe space where even if it is so, you are not told so nobody can say nothing. You don't have anything to say to anybody because nobody never tell you that you didn't do anything anywhere. Nothing came back positive. You understand me? So they would rather stay in the space. And some people, they're just afraid of the result. They're afraid of what the result will look like. So better don't do anything. And that's the case, which is unfortunate. You understand? And wherever she is, I don't know if she's involved with anybody now or anything, but wherever she is, I hope eventually she would have gone and get herself sorted out to see if it is so, and if it is so, to take the appropriate action in taking care of it. That's the only thing we can hope and we can pray for, right? Because we can't browbeat the big woman to go do this and do that. And you can't lift up, carry her, go in there and say, okay, you must do it now.
Yep.
So that's anybody else have any question for David before he goes? Anybody has anything that they want to ask David? And I must apologize, people. You see me here on screen and you're not seeing me. I don't know, StreamYard is not allowing the camera to be open. So
really?
Yes, this is my second encounter. Yes, it's not opening. So anybody else have any questions? Shoot it quickly. But anything that I wanted to know, David, we have spoken about it, because my question would have gone to the strength and the wherewithal, and even when you said that you were down in the dump, where you were feeling low, you know, you've never thought about harming yourself, but you weren't excited about being here either because of the situation. You understand me? And then it seems as if you have a 360 with the attitude turn around and you say, okay, life is for living, despite of and in spite of. And I would have said to you, what was the catalyst? What was the one thing that you looked and you thought about and said, oh, heck, me have this already. When we go do, we can't do nothing about it more than take care of it and see how long God will have me here on this earth. You understand me? And even when you spoke about losing the weight, having the rashes, and I can assume that you must have looked in the mirror and said, my God, look at this hot boy, David. Look at what I become. You understand me? And we, even without being there physically and see, we are sensible enough to understand that there must be changes, both psychologically and physical changes that is just staring you in the face and you are saying, wow, is this what I'm going to look like? How long am I going to stay like this? When people look at me, what are they going to think?
Yeah.
Yes. And I can imagine you not meeting people's eyes when you find yourself in a space because you don't want to see that look that is saying, oh, hell, what do this one know? Because you can read the unsaid words.
Yes.
When you see people look and you say, oh my God. So I know what that can look like. While it's not the same thing, and I will reference, because I remember when I was in the car accident and my face was all funny and I have stitches sticking out several places, and people would come and visit me, but they would turn their backs and speak to me. They wouldn't look at me. They did not want to see my face. So I recall several times that I said to myself, because at the time I could not speak to, so I could not verbalize what I want to say. But I remember thinking several times that why do they come? Why you better come for? You come and you're going to turn your back at me because you don't want to see what I look like. Just don't come. You understand? Because nobody bound and compel you, nobody tie you up. So I can understand, and I stopped looking at some of the faces because you can read the pity, you can read whatever is in there, like, oh my God, this is really how Tara look, that look that says, run across the face that say, oh my God, so this is how she's going to stay. Them those kind of things. So I stopped looking in their faces, looking in the eyes for the sincerity. As I just avert my eyes. So I can imagine that you must have, instead of finding yourself squaring your shoulder and lifting your chin up and look straight in the faces, you must be, averting the eyes because you don't want to see that question in the faces. You don't want to see that condemnation because you can read that too. You understand me? I say, I like this one. I mean, not even want him near me. You understand? You know what it is. So I can imagine. But man, I am certain you discover that you are stronger than you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
a lot stronger than what I knew.
Yes.
Or know I am. I don't know. Like I said, it's just the I would have to say it's God that keeps me going. And what I said before, yes, I was riddled with 3 chronic diseases. But the way I see it is like it's one for the Father, one for the Son, and one for the Holy Ghost. Once I keep that mind frame, whatever the outcome is what the outcome is going to be. You see, if God wants me to die in a car accident, I'm not gonna get eaten by a lion and die. What I'm saying is, whenever our time come, it come. We cannot cheat death. Whenever he is ready for us, he is ready for us.
Yes.
You might be ready to die, and you just can't take it no more. And you take that gun and you pull the trigger. Sometimes you're amazed because the gun never go off. It jammed, and you're wondering how the gun no go off. It never jammed before, but it jammed this time. Or you actually shoot yourself, and you still live
Oh yes.
because you were not meant to die.
Not
Some,
ready for you
some
yet.
people say I had a close call and I was supposed to die. No, you wasn't supposed to die. You could have died, but you weren't supposed to die. Because if you were supposed to die, you would have died. There's no supposed to. I was supposed to. It's either you could have or you did. There is no supposed. I was supposed to. Supposed to mean that it was supposed to happen. It should have happened and it didn't happen. No, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. If you're gonna get hit by a car, you're gonna get hit by a car. You're not gonna get shot. You're not. That's just how I view it. So again, just give all your issues and all your problems to God. Again, it's easier said than done, but it works. And don't just give it to him and then, man, you got no problem. God, he take them. And then before you get up out of the chair, you said, God, I know how am I going to feed the pitney them, man? You just took it back from him. Give it to him and leave it. Do what you can do to fix the situation, but leave it in his hands. Stop worrying about this. Stop worrying about that. What is to happen will happen. What is not to happen will not happen. Trust God. Trust God. That's all I can that's all I can. That's the advice I can really say. Just trust God and do the right thing. Get tested is another thing I want to emphasize on. Get tested for all type of stuff. Get tested for corona. Get tested for AIDS, herpes, gonorrhea. Get tested because you see these things, they can hide dormant inside of your body and you not know that you have it. And a lot of them, when they decide
Yes.
to show up themselves, it's too late.
That is just it. When it start manifesting, it is when it gets to a very late stage. Then you see the signs coming through.
Yeah. So get tested. Practice safe sex, even if you're married. I did an LS about this, and a lot of people, they laughed about it. Especially at first, before the LS started, they laughed. Why would you wear a condom when you're married? And they didn't know about my situation until I boom, and I give it to them. Oh my gosh, and this and that. Now I see why you say, but it opened eyes. It opened eyes. I wish we didn't have to use condoms while we were married. But technically, we're not supposed to be having sex unless we're trying to reproduce. That is what Dugo was really created for. Not just to do it, not just to have fun. It was made for us to multiply. So even if you're married, let's exit all diseases. Even if you're married, but you already have 4 kids, your best bet is to get tied and use protection, or use protection, period. Because you might not get, your husband might be faithful, but you get pregnant. Do you really need another child? Can you really manage another child? So think about what you're doing before you do it. Unless you know that you can manage another child, unless you know for a fact what your spouse's sexual status is, meaning like diseases. They've been tested. You see their sheets. You see their results and everything like that. You know each other's health records. You both know each other's health records, and you both are with each other. You cannot put your life on it and say John is not cheating. You cannot put your life on it and say Sally is not cheating. You never know, even when you know. You never know if they are or aren't. So what would be the best protection? Protection, right? Because you never know. That's just my view about it. But I don't know. And don't like when you meet someone with with this type of disease or another disease or something, don't shun them out. Don't turn them away. Don't give them the cold shoulder. The worst thing for someone to do is to go through something, no matter what it is, to go through something all alone and not have someone to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Silence kills. That person, that man that's getting beat by his wife, because men get beat too. A lot of us just don't say it. Men get beat too. But women who get beat, the men who get beat, say something to somebody. Get out as if you can. But most important, say something. Silence kills. It kills. It kills because you stay silent, you bottle things up, you feel like you don't have nobody to talk to, so now you start to go mad because you start talking to yourself. And the thing is, it don't mean you're mad when you talk to yourself, The mad part is when you start answer yourself. I mean, answer myself sometime, but when you really start answer yourself,
I have solid conversation with myself, so that means that something is wrong over this side of my ears.
but seriously though, don't be silent. Find someone who you can talk to, and if you can't find anyone to talk to, I'm gonna say it like I talk about my live streams. A lot of my live streams, I'm there by myself. A lot of my live stream, maybe one or two, somebody might come in, and then they're gone within seconds. For the most part, I'm there by myself. But then I started to, and I used to complain about it, but then I start saying, but a lot of time, there's somebody listening, they're just not in there. And even if they're not listening, God is listening. So as long as God is my audience, hey, I'm good. I'll keep on doing my LSs by myself. Someday the right person will come along and hear what they need to hear, and everything will be cool and dandy. So it's the same thing with this, with life. If you can't find someone to vent to, if you can't find someone to talk to, and I know a lot of you, or some of you, might not be Christians, and you might talk certain ways, you know. But just because you're not a Christian, that does not mean that you don't believe in God. And that does not mean that when you talk to God, God does not hear you just because you're not born again, you know. And but I'm gonna leave that alone. But he hears you. Long story short, he hears you. So if nobody is there to vent to, nobody is there to talk to, then vent to him. Talk to him. Talk to him and vent to him. You know, and get it out. Sometimes if you have to write down what you're going through, write down what you want to say. You know, you may feel like you want to cuss. I'm not telling you to go cuss God. Don't twist the word. But God understand, okay? God understand if you are going through something and you bust a little swear word, he now hold you captive for that. He now beat you up for that. Especially if you realize that you use a swear word and you apologize, God now beat you up for that. So don't feel sad because you're not saved or because you're not a Christian or you don't have these enticing words to say to him. He's not interested in the enticing words. He's interested in your sincerity. He's interested in your sincerity. So be sincere with God if you don't have nobody else to talk to. And when you have other people to talk to, be sincere with God and talk to him as well. And on that note, as usual, I'm going to say manners, love, and elevation, each and every one of them. And walk, yeah. But if anybody have any questions, feel free to drop them, and Tara will read them off, and we'll go from there. But that's my story, and I hope that it touched someone in a way where it opened their eyes a little bit more. On my channel, I talk about ways to get it and ways not to get this or ways not to get
on
that.
Which day of the week?
Wednesday. Every Wednesday I do health awareness Wednesdays. Every single Wednesday.
You do an upload? You upload a video regarding?
Upload a video regarding health awareness, and anytime that I can, I do a live stream doing talking about health awareness. The live streams are usually I used to do them at 9 o'clock at night. Now I start doing them about 7ish or whatever, if I can do a live stream. Tomorrow, normally
You have been here for listening here. Should not only take for ourselves here tonight, but pass it on to anybody that you come in contact with that will give a listening ear or whatever the case may do. Pass it on so if the other person can tell the other person to tell the other person. You understand it? Because sharing is caring. So if you get one to hold their head up and another pass it on, then so be it. You understand me? They say knowledge is power. And we see that all the time. So again, David, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for really highlighting and educating us on some of the things tonight. So we really do appreciate this. And of course, we will remain family. You said that you have a live on Thursday. What time Thursday you say?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. So I'm going to ask for those of you who are still here, and if you have a good relationship with somebody that was here and is no longer here, you can pass it on. Let us give David some support on
what we see is every weakness, every trial, every mountain and sea. Hey, it's your girl, The Flame, and you're in tune to the Servant David Show. Keep it locked right here and don't change the dial.
Thank you so much, all of you guys who were here tonight. I thank you, Stacy, because you finished your live and your celebration and you were here. Thank you too. Thank you to all of you. I thought Kai had long gone to her bed because I know she has to get up early in the morning.
And I just want to thank all of you for being here once again. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. It's a pleasure to have your presence. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I hope that someone got something from this. I hope that you learned from this. I hope you was encouraged by this. This interview was done about 2 years ago, 2 or maybe even 3 years ago. And it's from Tara J Blogs. You guys can feel free to go and check her out, yeah? Once again, I want to say manners, love, and elevation to each and every one of you. Thank you again for being here. It's a pleasure to have your presence as we go into the closing song and then the closing prayer. Once again, thank you all for being here. Those who have been in the mystery room, those who are in the chat, those who come in and catch the replay, those who have been here for the first time, thank you so much. And remember, God can.
Just like a king who sends his name to free a prisoner. It's just the same. Just use his name as your deliverer. There's no power that can hold you when his name is applied. He can break those prison chains. Use his name. Use his name. His name moves mountains. Use his name. His name opens fountains. Use his name. Your words become words of the King. There's a mountain you are facing. Hey, there's a giant in your way. If you're in prison, is your escape. Use his name. Now as it stood and sadly walked, as he ascended, oh Lord, he stayed for Jesus left them with a weapon, a sure way of defense. Speak with faith, the Lord did say, use his name. Use his name. His name moves mountains. Use his name. His name opens mountains. Use his name. Your words become words of the King. There's a mountain you are facing. Hey, there's a giant in your way. If you're in prison, if you're escape, use his name.
Put ourselves in the holy presence of our Lord. Thank you, Lord, for this successful seminar. We know that you have blessed us, hence this success. May you keep blessing us as we go out of this venue and apply what we have learned in our profession. Remind us that all that we do is for the service of other people. Make us realize that all our actions and plans should be done for your greater glory. Show us your divine guidance so that we could decide wisely and properly. Send your Holy Spirit so that we would not fear every challenge that comes our way. Make us realize that without you, we are nothing. All this we pray and offer to you in the name of our Christ Savior,